Morning, guys. I'm in a rush. I've got about half an hour. I was going to go through this interview. I've already done part one and part two, but I think you have to watch the entirety of it to understand it. It's obviously the Bridget Cruz lawsuit with Priscilla. I'm friends with Bridget. You know that, guys. So I talk to Bridget quite a lot. So instead of me playing it and just stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, because I don't have long and I want you to really get it and understand it and absorb it. This YouTube channel, Law and Crime Network, are so good. He does such a brilliant job of explaining things. And then he even gets Bridget Cruz's lawyer on his show. I want to just press play and just go through it with you guys, hardly ever speaking. It's got 25 minutes. Let's try and get through it. It's very interesting. I mean, it's not something to try and get through. It's actually very thought provoking. Yeah, it really does show you everything you need to know concerning the Bridget Cruz and Priscilla situation. Yeah, what they're trying to achieve, what Bridget's trying to achieve with her lawsuit, how Priscilla is trying to fight it. This is good. This is excellent. It talks about the divorces, the unfairness of Priscilla's greed. Yeah. Just her general behavior towards Elvis and Lisa has been pretty disgusting. Yeah. So here goes, guys. I'm going to go get my cup of tea and I'm just going to sit here with you guys and just watch it, enjoy it, learn, educate myself. We educate each other. And good morning to you from Defending Elvis. Guys, we're growing strong. We've had loads of new subscribers. We've got new members. Thank you to the new members. Anyone that bought me a coffee or super thank you. I appreciate it, guys. It's very kind of you. It does mean a lot to me. And we need members. We need the channel to get stronger. So please become members. It's very cheap. It's like $1. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Let's go.
Brand new filing from the people suing her in this already bombshell legal battle. That's what we want to talk about. It's time to break down all of these details and allegations with the lawyer representing the two former business associates suing Elvis's ex-wife. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, we have another development in the Priscilla Presley legal saga that we need to talk about. And in a little bit, I'm going to be bringing back on the lawyer who's representing the people suing her to get a better sense of what exactly is going on. Because there is this brand new filing with new details, new allegations that may change what this whole case is about. But first, I got to give you the backstory. A little complicated. Stay with me. I'll try to break it down. You have Bridget Cruz and Kevin Fialco. They are self-described entrepreneurs who are really big in the world of Elvis Presley memorabilia. They apparently started working with Priscilla Presley, this is Elvis's ex-wife, years ago, helping her manage her brand and use her name, her image, her likeness to make money. That's what the lawyer says. But they also allege that Priscilla was making moves behind their backs to get more money for herself and basically cut the two of them out of future deals. So they have sued her for fraud, breach of contract, intentional interference with a contract, misappropriation of name and likeness. By the way, this is in response to Priscilla's own claims against them, including elder abuse. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But this was their response. Now, in these filings, they make a lot of allegations, including regarding Elvis and Priscilla's daughter, Lisa Marie. So Elvis died in 1977, and as Lisa Marie grew up, she and her mother, according to these filings, had a reportedly tumultuous relationship. Now, Elvis had apparently left his entire estate in a trust to Lisa Marie, which she inherited when she turned 25. The original filing says that Lisa Marie ended up listing Priscilla and Barry Siegel, this is Priscilla's financial manager, as co-trustees. But when Lisa Marie found out that they were allegedly mismanaging her money, she changed the trust to make herself trustee and listed her son Ben and her daughter Riley Keough as the ones who would inherit. Now, Riley being a famous actress. Again, these are the allegations from the filing. By January of 2023, this is when things, according to the filing, became really bad between Priscilla and Lisa Marie. Quote, Priscilla was aware that Lisa was getting ready to remove her as the sole trustee of Lisa's irrevocable life insurance trust and was otherwise threatening to sue her. Cruz and Fialco nevertheless worked to keep the family together. Goes on to say, Lisa suffered cardiac arrest on Thursday, January 12th, and she was rushed to West Hills Hospital. Priscilla, who knew that Lisa was in the process of taking steps to remove her as the sole trustee of Lisa's irrevocable life insurance trust, saw an opportunity to regain control. Priscilla rushed to West Hills Hospital, and despite Lisa's clear directive to prolong her life, Priscilla pulled the plug within hours of Lisa being admitted and before her granddaughter, Riley, was able to get to the hospital, demanding that Cruz issue a statement to the media so she could control the narrative. Priscilla demanded that a statement be released immediately, stating, "It is with a heavy heart that I must share the devastating news that my beautiful daughter Lisa Marie has left us." And then they claimed that the following week, Priscilla said, "I'm the queen, I'm in charge of Graceland." Quote, Cruz and Fialco were heartbroken by the unsettling behavior. Now, Cruz and Fialco also say that Priscilla not only defrauded Elvis during their divorce, but maybe contributed or drove him to his death. Yeah, so in this amended filing, it says, Priscilla's first victim was Elvis, 1968. After just over 5 years of marriage, Elvis and Priscilla divorced, entering into a property settlement agreement and marital termination agreement. Under the marital dissolution agreements, Priscilla unequivocally waived the right to inherit anything from Elvis's estate. Then in bold, Priscilla knew she was entitled to inherit nothing from Elvis. By the way, you know why we're able to bring you stories like this? It's not only because of the amazing support that we get from all of you out there, but also from our incredible sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, a firm with over a Priscilla wasn't happy, that she wanted more. Quote, out of pure...
Guys, please do subscribe to this channel. They're a brilliant channel. Please do subscribe to them. Law and Crime with Jesse Weber. So I'm letting it play. It's very, very fascinating.
Agreed, Priscilla claimed that what she received was not enough for her to live on. Priscilla claimed that Elvis defrauded her, asserting that Elvis promised to always take care of her. So the former couple apparently went back to the negotiating table, and the lawsuit claims that Elvis was, quote, forced into entering into a modified settlement and marital termination agreement on October 4th, 1973. And from there, according to this suit, the payouts grew considerably. Quote, Elvis was forced to pay Priscilla $725,000 within 10 days of court approval, so equal to about $5,274,995.50 presently. And then there was an additional $720,000, so that's equal
Shocking, guys.
to about $5,238,616.22 presently, broken down into installments of $6,000 per month. Elvis was also forced to pay Priscilla 50% of the proceeds of the sale of the residence at 144 Monovale Drive in Los Angeles, California, and up to 1 year of spousal support in the amount of $4,200 per month. Again, in bolded letters, Priscilla's thirst for power and money was insatiable. Okay. But the complaint claims that Priscilla didn't stop there. Despite enriching herself and extorting millions of dollars from Elvis, she then placed a lien on Graceland on or around April 29, 1977 in the amount of $494,024.49, so more than $2.2 million, adding pressure to Elvis less than 4 months before he died on August 16, 1977 from a heart attack and drug complications. Priscilla exerted undue pressure on Elvis, pushing him to his death. That's the allegation. That's what it says. And this is how it may lead to the claims of Cruz and Fialco. Let's bring it back to them. That it's related to Priscilla's name and likeness and trying to grow her brand for money. Because according to them, it turns out she isn't even supposed to be using the Presley name at all. According to their filing, since Priscilla divorced Elvis, she was entitled to nothing, as she was not mentioned in the will, and in fact, pursuant to her divorce agreement, she was supposed to stop using the surname Presley. After Elvis died in 1977, however, Priscilla continued to use the Presley name as she needed to exploit the name for her own financial gain despite Elvis's wishes otherwise. So in other words, the allegation is that Presley told Cruz and Fialco she owned the rights to use her name and image, but actually she had already sold those rights to someone else and didn't say so. Her representations or alleged misrepresentations were made to get them to invest money to help her financially, and because they believed her and spent a lot of money helping her grow her brand, if they had known the truth, they wouldn't have done that. Now she owes them, they're out of pocket.
Okay, guys, just quickly, thank you for joining me. Welcome, guys. Good morning to you. My throat's still a bit poorly, but I could just keep stopping on this. Stop, start, stop, stop. I actually want you to listen to the entirety of this. It's 24 minutes, but guys, it is very educational. Like, you really will learn a lot from this. So I don't want to keep butting in. I'm going to post this to you guys, and we can discuss it in the comments together live. Yeah. I am going to be doing a live stream later as well, concerning Donna Presley. We're going to have a chat about Donna's video that she uploaded discussing why she does have the right to use the Presley name, and the backstory as well. We're going to put these haters, these bullies, these trolls we're going to shut them up and tell the truth in our live stream today. Okay, guys, let's go.
Okay, so that brings us to what was just filed, this cross complaint. And for that, I want to bring on Jordan Matthews, who is representing Cruz and Fialco in this case. We've had him on before. Jordan, thanks so much for taking the time to come back here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much for having me, Jesse. Appreciate it.
Got it. Of course. So let's clear this up first. You filed this cross complaint on your client's behalf. Let's start here. What is a cross complaint? What is that? How is it different from the original complaint that you filed, if I'm understanding it correctly?
Well, a few things. A cross complaint is basically a response to a complaint with claims. So it's my client's claims against Priscilla. With respect to your question about the difference in the other lawsuit, there's certain substantive claims. I'm happy to go into the specifics in terms of the specific allegations, but essentially it is a responsive and offensive claim to the
So we will go through specifics of this new filing. I think just for our viewers so they understand, right? First, it was Priscilla who initiated litigation against your clients, and then they filed a suit against her, or am I misunderstanding?
That's fairly accurate, but there's a slight distinction. So actually, my clients actually initiated litigation against Priscilla in 2023. That was in Florida. Priscilla then filed what we believe is a retaliatory claim in 2024. This is our offensive response to this claim in California.
Okay, and what was she claiming her retaliatory claim? Just real quickly summarize it.
She had a variety of claims. There is a claim that she claims, which we believe is completely false, that she claims elder abuse and things of that nature. We've seen no evidence of that, but this is our offensive claim, and actually offensive claims. It's about 20 claims, 20 causes of action against that complaint.
It's interesting. I mean, this guy seems very interesting. I wonder if Bridget would let me talk to him, let me interview him. Bridget, if you ever watch my show, am I allowed to talk to this lawyer? Is that a problem? I'd like to ask him a few questions. I got some interesting questions I'd like to ask.
Got it. Okay. Now I want to talk about this new filing. And there are some specific paragraphs that I think are important to highlight. There's one paragraph, it's paragraph 30. It's about Lisa allegedly demanding that Priscilla resign as the only trustee of her life insurance policy because Lisa had apparently wanted to sell the policy off. Why is this significant?
It's significant for a few specific reasons. What's very crucial here is we had previously alleged that when Lisa passed away on January 12th of 2023, that at that time she was threatening to sue Priscilla and demanding that she resign, that Priscilla resign as the sole trustee of the irrevocable life insurance policy. But what's new and what's crucial is that Lisa was attempting to withdraw the cash value of that policy. So the allegation is that when Lisa ultimately passed away and when Priscilla was with her in the hospital, which is something she writes about in her book and where she directed, according to what's in her book, the doctors to take her off of life support. The allegation is that she did that knowing that she was stopping Lisa from withdrawing the cash value of that policy. Why that's crucial is that meant that $25 million policy was still active, and that's what allowed her to interject herself and create a dispute with Riley that ultimately resulted in a payout of $2.4 million to Priscilla.
And to
Very interesting. Very interesting.
be clear, Lisa had wanted to sell this to pay off a tax lien?
From the records that we've reviewed, which include actually, there's a tax liability that she had, actually one of the exhibits in the cross complaint. It's not to state anything negative with respect to Lisa, but it's to paint a very clear picture of the evidence that we have, is that as of March of 2023, so shortly after her passing, there was a notice that she had a tax liability for one notice in particular of in excess of $900,000. So the withdrawing the cash value of the policy would have allowed her, and was intended to allow her, from what we know and what we've seen, to resolve that tax liability because her passport had been revoked. And so she was attempting to resolve that issue.
Talking taxes. This is a big bombshell here. So you got to have a bunch of paragraphs here that are about how Cruz and Fialco were working to finalize a settlement between Priscilla and Riley, and how Priscilla allegedly submitted paperwork to the IRS that was false, that this was about her jewelry. What is this allegation about, if you can expand upon it?
So this actually is even why the allegations that we just went into are actually crucial, because it shows character and credibility is always at issue in the context of litigation. But the simple point is this: when my clients had started their relationship with Priscilla, it was known in prior filings that Priscilla had a tax liability of around $700,000. So my client,
Just so you know, guys, that Bridget has clearly said she can prove everything she's alleged in the lawsuit, and she has the exhibits and evidence to prove it, to fully back it up.
came in to the relationship. They paid for her to retain a tax attorney so she could negotiate that. The allegation, and what's supported by the documents, which we actually submitted the documents in this filing, is that in May of 2023, she submitted documents under penalty of perjury stating, for example, the value of different property, the fair market value, for example, of jewelry. She listed that the fair market value of her jewelry was $6,000. The evidence that we have is that she has jewelry worth in excess of $5 million. And she also has collectibles, personal property that's currently in storage, or at the time certainly was in storage at Graceland, such as her wedding dress, a Mercedes, jewelry, different items that are worth in excess of millions of dollars. So simply, that was a misrepresentation to the IRS that she made. That's the allegation, when she was attempting to negotiate a resolution, a payment plan, a lower payment with the IRS.
So don't forget, this is everywhere. Yeah, this is wherever you Google it, ChatGPT, whatever you want to do, everyone's talking about this hidden treasure. Now, the weird thing is, Joe Weishanker did say that the stuff isn't there. I did speak to someone and they said it's hidden in Florida. So I did find it strange that Joe Weishanker came out and said what he said. Maybe I'll play that after this, but let's keep going.
Essentially, and I want to put words in your mouth, are you accusing Priscilla of committing a crime? And is this, have you issued a criminal referral in some way?
That's not for me to make a decision on. This is how it's relevant to our claims. It's very simple. In this cross complaint, there are employment claims. And one of the employment claims is wrongful termination in violation of public policy. So when our clients were attempting to get her to comply with her legal requirements and saying, you need to actually submit the appraised value, the correct value of your assets to the IRS so you are fulfilling your obligations, the allegation is that she then terminated them. And to support that, we have a letter that came from tax counsel that my client forwarded to Priscilla on August 23rd of 2023. And the very next day, they were terminated.
Now, aside from that,
I think he's meant, but as soon as Priscilla didn't get her way, she sacked everyone.
that letter, you say you have evidence to support this. And when you look at the paragraphs, it mentions a number of different exhibits. What are those exhibits? What is the evidence that you have to support this claim regarding the tax liability, regarding the alleged tax misrepresentations?
So I do have all this. It's all, I've got it all. I've got all the exhibits, all the evidence. I've got the filing, whatever you want to call it. I I don't want to sit here and read it for ages. It'll take hours. I'm hoping a few of the YouTube channels will read it out, and then we can follow that. The one I do like is Down the Rabbit Hole. That is excellent. Maybe this guy may read some of it. So we're going to find someone that reads it out. Obviously, Rhonda at Presley Mania, she reads these things out. There's 2 videos at Presley Mania, Rhonda, that I want to review. I just haven't had the time to do it, but I do want to. And one of them had Amy Collett in, she's a great researcher as well. So go and watch Rhonda, go and watch Presley Mania, watch Rhonda and Amy Collett, because they are great. They do a great job of it as well. They're really good with these court documents. Rhonda is an expert with these documents, okay?
So it's the actual filing that she submitted to the IRS, signed by her under penalty of perjury. It's an attachment that lists the value of the various assets, one of which a lot of it is redacted. We actually focused specifically on what was the specific issue, which was her jewelry that she had valued, the fair market value of $6,000. So that's the submission.
Come on, guys, $6,000. This is Priscilla Presley. And she's saying her jewelry, after the life she's had, she's 80, is only worth $6,000. Come on. Isn't that obviously a lie? Just an opinion. Alleged. This whole show is for entertainment purposes, not a fact. Just an opinion sharing YouTube discussion channel.
To the IRS. Additionally, there is correspondence with Graceland about attempting to obtain the property, such as her wedding dress and a Mercedes that is there. There are various other items. And also the fact that there is that letter that is from August 23rd of 2023 from tax counsel, in addition to a text message from my client to Priscilla that has the letter stating, this is something that obviously needed to be discussed. And we have other evidence to support that as well.
By the way, has she or her counsel responded to that claim specifically ever?
Not to my knowledge. This is a new allegation in the cross complaint. Obviously, it was just accepted by the court earlier this week, so they'll have to respond to that.
It's getting very, very complicated, isn't it? This is a mess. This is going to cost a fortune to fight on both sides. This is a battle, guys. I don't know where Priscilla gets the money from to pay for this lawsuit. These multiple lawsuits going back and forth. They're obviously firing bombs at each other. Maybe they're pushing for settlement. Who knows? There's
another part of your filings that involves a Kia Morgan. First, let's start. Who is Kia Morgan, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly?
Kia Morgan, from our understanding, that's the name that he ultimately goes by. He is known, or his history was known as someone who was involved with Stan Lee, the comic book creator. There were allegations of elder abuse against him years ago. I'm not going to speak to those. I know he went through I believe, a criminal process with that. And I do believe that was resolved where, there was, it was ultimately resolved. I can't really speak to that.
Sure.
At the moment. But what happened here is that shortly actually after my clients resolved the trust dispute between Priscilla and Riley in around May or June of 2023, it was actually about May or so of 2023, Kia Morgan introduced himself or interjected himself, that's the allegation, into Priscilla's life. And they had conversations, or he had conversations with my clients. But ultimately, I've reviewed a lot of text correspondence between Kia Morgan and my client, and I've seen very clearly that he engaged in a way where the relationship turned sour, and the timeline indicates that he was very much so involved in tarnishing and creating a major wedge between my clients and Priscilla. And therefore, there's a claim against him, 2 claims, one for tortious interference with contract and also for tortious interference with prospective economic advantage.
And Kia Morgan's mentioned again in this cross complaint when it comes to the IRS, when it comes to valuing the assets at Graceland, right?
No, so he's not actually, it's a good question, but he's not actually involved in the allegation of valuing the assets. That was going on at the same time. So the
I see.
time lines up. Correct.
Got it. Okay.
We're learning a lot here, guys. This guy's great. Also, the questions that Jesse Weber is asking is excellent. This is one of the best videos I've watched for learning fast. If you know nothing, this is a great video to watch. Only 25 minutes, but you learn fast.
Okay, glad you clarified that. Okay. Now, I don't think there's a substantive change when it comes to the circumstances surrounding Lisa's death, but there is something that's called out. There's a little bit in the cross complaint about this, right?
So, well, the distinction, just to be clear, is what I believe I'd referenced before, but just for clarity, is that we had mentioned before that when Lisa ultimately passed, the allegation is that Priscilla was with her, that she directed the doctors to take her off of life support, and that was counter to a advanced healthcare directive where Lisa had stated previously in writing that she wanted anything and everything to be done to make sure that her life was prolonged.
And this has shocked the Elvis world, hasn't it? The Elvis world wants answers. Why didn't they wait until Riley got there? Why did Priscilla take this massive decision to unplug, to not go ahead with the resuscitation?
The addition here, the new information is that when that happened, that Lisa was attempting to cash out the value of her life insurance policy. And so again, when Priscilla made that decision, she did that knowing, that's the allegation, that she was stopping Lisa from cashing in the value of the policy, which meant that that $25 million policy that she ultimately made a claim against was still basically in play. It was something that she could still go after, and she ultimately did, because that resulted in a $2.4 million payout, which my clients negotiated pursuant to Priscilla's demands. So that's the distinction.
Substantively, is there anything else in the cross complaint that is a significant difference from what we've seen before?
So aside from the allegations that we've referenced with regards to the tax issue in particular, which is really the biggest,
the hidden treasure as well,
focus substantively, we obviously also have claims for various employment claims, such as the wrongful termination and violation of public policy. That is also tied into a claim against Priscilla's company, GLDE Inc., and that is a new defendant in this cross complaint.
Outside of the cross complaint, I wanted to ask you about something else. So Priscilla Presley's son, Navarone Garcia, he's been sued too. He's now part of this litigation. My understanding is the main allegation is that he benefited from the services of your clients and didn't pay them?
In short, correct. To clarify that, is that when my clients were working for Priscilla, she demanded, again, these are our allegations, and we have a lot of evidence to support that, that she work for Navarone, her son. And specifically, they were also tasked with negotiating a very large, ultimately multi-million-dollar settlement for Navarone in the dispute between Priscilla and Riley. So they worked extensively hard to resolve that issue, but they also did things like working for his band. So they did all of these things. There are employment claims against him. There's also claims for the value of their services against him. And there's also claims for tortious interference with contract and tortious interference with prospective economic advantage, because the allegation is that he also interfered with our clients' agreements.
So guys, we know they're also suing Navarone independently, a separate lawsuit. Come on, we know that Priscilla's going to pay for it all and fight it. Navarone can't fight a lawsuit. Mummy will come to the rescue. But maybe she could be fighting a losing battle. This is a very expensive set of lawsuits, guys.
Priscilla.
Have you heard anything from his side? Have you heard anything from Priscilla's side? And where is the case currently? What's the status of it?
So what I can say is there's obviously very active and pretty aggressive litigation going on, specifically with our side and with Priscilla's side. Navarone's complaint is an active litigation as well. The short answer is that we're in discovery at this time.
Got it. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to explain this because it can get a little complicated. There's a lot.
Guys, this is a coup for Jesse. This is a big deal getting Bridget's lawyer on this show. Brilliant.
A lot of different players. There's a lot of different events. I wanted to get a little bit more clarity as to what was going on, what the current status of it is. But Jordan Matthews, thank you so much for taking the time, as always.
Of course. Thanks, Jesse.
A really good job, guys. Jesse Weber on the YouTube channel, Law Crime. Brilliant. Law and Crime. Please subscribe to it. Really good. Just 10 out of 10. I wanted to just quickly, if I can, I've got a 3-minute video that says what Joe Wysanker said. I wanted to play that. Then my brother wants me to call him, so I want to call my brother. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. It's a 3-minute video. I'm going to press play, but I do have to go after this guy. But when I post this, it will be live to you guys, and then we can join on the comments, okay?
The Elvis Truth Files, defending Elvis.
Morning, explosive new allegations against Elvis's longtime wife, Priscilla Presley, involving the iconic home she once shared with the king of rock and roll. In the latest court filing, 2 of Priscilla's former business partners accuse her of lying to the IRS and using Graceland to stash valuable assets. The suit also claims they were fired when they pushed Priscilla to come clean. Graceland's managing partner, Joel Weinshanker, telling NBC News it's not true.
There aren't millions of dollars of Priscilla's items being housed secretly at Graceland. The most iconic item at Graceland is a wedding dress. It's not being hidden somewhere. There are no items of significant value that would add up to tens of millions of dollars or anywhere close.
Priscilla Presley's former partners, Brigitte Cruz and Kevin Falco, also accused the 80-year-old of seeking to profit from her daughter Lisa Marie's life insurance policy, saying despite Lisa's clear directive to prolong her life, Priscilla pulled the plug within hours of Lisa being admitted. Elvis's only daughter, Lisa Marie, passed away suddenly in 2023. Priscilla recently opened up about the loss of her daughter with Savannah.
And to this day, I can't get over it. It was, especially having a great night before and then the next day taken away.
She also talked about her legal issues.
I mean, we're having an issue for sure, but it's getting resolved.
Priscilla's former business partners are suing her for $50 million for fraud and breach of contract. Presley has filed a countersuit accusing them of financial elder abuse. A messy legal battle involving rock's most iconic mansion.
Well, it's even messier, Chloe, because, of course, Lisa Marie had her own children, and Elvis and Priscilla were divorced at the time of his death.
Exactly. So Lisa Marie was overseeing Graceland because it was passed along to her because of the fact that her parents divorced several years, well, about 4 years before Elvis died. Now, Lisa Marie had 4 children, one of which passed away, Benjamin, of suicide, and she left everything to Riley Keough, who is overseeing Graceland and her mother's estate. Now, we've reached out to Riley Keough for further comment. She's not going to say anything about this, but what she has said in the past is that she supports her grandmother. She stands by her, but this is complicated. A lot of dueling lawsuits, but for now, Riley Keough is overseeing Graceland, and all seems to be good there with Elvis's legacy and the estate. But again, complicated for Priscilla.
Yeah, when Priscilla was here, she talked about her good relationship with Riley and her great-grandkids, and
Which is bullshit.
so we'll see what happens with this. Thank you, Chloe.
The Elvis Truth Files, The Lies End Here, with Louis Macredis and Team Elvis.
So, guys, that's the end of this video, which I'm going to upload live in the comments. Okay, I just want to say that obviously, I have long chats with Bridget. I get on well with Bridget. We've had very detailed conversations. We're not allowed to talk about the lawsuit. But I think I understand Bridget. I think she's given me enough information where I get a good feeling for before and after. The French. Don't forget they were friends. Yeah. How the French evolved, how they got to know each other, what went on. You know, there was business dealings, of course, but they were also very good friends. It's, to me, Bridget felt like she had a real strong love for Priscilla, really trusted her, loved Priscilla's family, and vice versa. Priscilla mixed with Bridget's family. Bridget is a family woman. She has children. Yeah. And she's not just a businesswoman. Obviously, she's self-made. She's very successful, very hardworking. Bridget is bloody smart, very, very smart. So to win, Bridget, when she saw that Priscilla was in deep trouble for many different things, yeah, in a hole, yeah, Bridget saw, right, I can help Priscilla. Yes, they're business people. It was a win-win situation, yeah. Priscilla had some serious things to sort out, not just financially, privately as well. There was some serious arguments going on behind the scenes with her daughter Lisa. Eventually, when Lisa passes, you've got that. There's a mess there. You've also got Riley negotiating with Bridget and Priscilla, yeah, concerning the trust. You know, Lisa's last wishes, well, not last wishes, Lisa's wishes to give everything to her kids, of course. And then you've got Priscilla jumping in, trying to say that it was fraud, when really we know that Priscilla did know that Lisa wanted her off the trust. There was some kind of negotiation to do with the insurance policy to get Priscilla off it. And guys, the whole thing's a mess. I'm no expert. I'm just a fan. You know, if I get my facts wrong, please tell me. The bottom line is Priscilla completely changed her mind, completely ghosted her. So now we've got these new allegations of hidden treasure, jewels, car, many other things to avoid a massive IRS tax bill. All, again, allegations, but there are clear exhibits and evidence for Bridget, who clearly is saying she can fully prove everything she's alleging in these lawsuits. Of course, the lawsuits go back and forth. They're multiple, and will they ever settle? Probably. I expect they're both going through hell. You know, lawsuits are an absolute nightmare. But the truth is coming out. Through these lawsuits, the truth is starting to come out. The public are starting to be more aware of what's gone on. Seriously, guys. That I think, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, just an opinion, not a fact, I think there's been serious wrongdoing from Priscilla. Serious. Concerning everything. Not just financial. Towards Lisa, towards Riley. Greedy money grabbing straight out of the pocket of the twins, Finley and Harper, as well. Shocking. All of it is shocking. And now she's running around, Priscilla's running around with this book, telling lies, in my opinion, twisting the truth, exaggerating everything, trying to respin everything, rewrite history, reinvent history. Again, with this book, all of these ridiculous interviews she's giving around the world, and none of these interviewers challenge her. They just hang on her every word, believe everything she says, even though we know about all these allegations. The interviewers, the journalists around the world, they know about all the scary allegations, but they just ignore it and they treat Priscilla like she's Elvis's wife. It's crazy. Why is Priscilla treated like she's Elvis's wife? Why is Priscilla treated by these interviewers in any country as if she's a victim, as if Elvis was the bad guy, as if she is the reason Elvis is remembered, that Gracelands was saved? It's all bullshit, guys. And whenever Priscilla says Elvis was the love of my life, come on, guys. We know it's bullshit. You only have to look at her history and her relationships to know that Elvis definitely was not the love of her life. Her demanding to be buried next to Elvis is ridiculous. Come on, guys. They're divorced 4 years before he died. They didn't get on. They were arguing over money and property and Lisa. Don't fall for this lie that we were better apart. Priscilla says we were better apart. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sure they had some good times. You know, they were civil for the public on behalf of Lisa. Elvis would have wanted things to look good for Lisa Marie, the daughter who he adored. But come on, guys. She was at his throat for money. Big time. She wanted power, money, fame, attention, spotlight. She wanted to be in movies. She wanted to be Elvis. She wanted everything Elvis had. She wanted it for herself. And do you know what? Once Vernon Presley allowed her to be co-trustee, she got it. Priscilla has had nearly 50 years of being Elvis. Shocking. Shocking. The public have been completely conned and tricked and hoodwinked and have fallen for it. Hook, line and sinker. And we are here at Defending Elvis to expose all of it, because we've had enough. Even Donna Presley, the first cousin of Elvis. It's the time for silence. It's over. Enough is enough. It's time to change history and tell the world the truth and expose all of these people that have trashed Elvis for money for decades, including the Smiths, the Stanleys, and Priscilla, and the Memphis Mafia. Shocking. Shocking. We are going to make history here at Defending Elvis. We are going to change everything. And we are supported by some amazing people. Donna Presley, Ginger Alden, even Mindy Miller, and many others. And we have the best Elvis fans in the world because we stand by truth. Elvis fans come together. We're called Team Elvis. Our channel is called Defending Elvis. And we come together every day, 7 days a week, to change history and stand up for Elvis, because Elvis doesn't have a voice unless we speak up, because no one has properly spoken up for over 40 to 50 years. And finally, the truth is coming out. And it's us, Team Elvis. And obviously, Donna Presley, of course. Yeah. And Ginger. Even Mindy. The truth is coming out. Watch out, guys, because we won't back down. You won't shut us down. You won't mute us. You won't take away our freedom of speech. Truth wins. Truth wins. Apologize, show regret, and stop trashing poor Elvis. That is my message to all of you. Thanks, guys. You take care. Love you all. You're the best. And very, very interesting video. Please subscribe to Law and Crime. Brilliant, brilliant video. Thank you so much. Excellent.